Hey, I'm Grantley Phillips, and you're watching 101.9 KINK Radio in the Skype Live studio.
Thank you.
Grantley Phillips. My goodness, my friend. Welcome into the Skype Live studio this afternoon.
Thank you. It's nice here.
Yeah, it's not often we get some of the stars to come in at 3 o'clock, so I know this. You had a late night, you said last night, right?
I did have a late night. I was in Seattle, and I sang a long show, sang hard, sang loud.
And you're the kind of guy that sticks around for everybody after the show, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Got to touch the people, right?
That's right. Yeah,
Gotta be a part
give
of
them
that.
a sweaty hug.
Is Tennessee becoming more and more home for you?
It is. Yeah. I grew up in California and in the Central Valley, so I think when I set foot in Tennessee, it felt kind of familiar in that way. You know, something about being out there in the country appealed to me.
How's it work for Denise and your daughter? I mean, bringing them away from, you were in L.A. also for like 30 years, right?
Yeah, that's right. 30
Is it working
years.
all right for them? I mean, new
They
friends
love
found?
it.
Okay, good.
They love it. Yeah, I have an 8-year-old daughter, and that was kind of one of the things we said to ourselves. Well, maybe there's some other place, away from the big city where we can bring our daughter up, and it's been a good place, been a good move for us.
Well, welcome back to Portland, man. We got him at the Doug Fur tonight.
Yeah.
Any crazy things? Does Portland hold a little place in your heart?
I'm always kind of bracing myself when I arrive in Portland. It's a town of immense character, and it's something that I realized a long time ago. I mean, I think maybe like in one of my visits, maybe it was a couple of years ago, I had booked myself a room at one of your local sort of old style hotels. One of the ones where you share a bathroom with a lot of other folks. And on my way to the hotel, I was accosted by several gentlemen, large men on bicycles. With it was very dark, but they pelted me with squirt guns. I think it was squirt guns. I gotta hope, but and I said to myself, this town is like, it's just full of pirates and cowboys and ex-fur trappers. It's like a Tom Waits song came to life, like Jumanji, and you can't get those guys back in the box. Yeah. So, but I love it. I love the character, and I love the fresh
Well, the
air.
West Coast definitely misses you. Let's talk about the new one. You are such a beautiful and reflective singer-songwriter. This new album, The Narrows, it seems stark, but it also seems so personal. You brought because I remember with Buffalo, had a lot more of what was going on socially, what was going on with the world. This one is it because the reflective, because you and I are about the same age. We're like 30 days apart, so good on 63. That was a good year.
How about that?
Yeah, I know, right? So I noticed that as I get a little bit older, everything becomes a little bit more reflective into the family circle, into what's in our neighborhood. Is that what this whole album was a little bit more about, the personal side of it?
I think you're onto something there. I mean, when I still play a fair amount of Grantley Buffalo songs, and the ones that have really stuck around for me, that have just refused to be set aside, are the ones that were more personal that I wrote back then. Songs like Happiness or The Hook, Fuzzy, things like that. And now and then I was still, sadly enough, I can pull in some of those songs that are a little more, inspired by the news of the day. And sadly, the news hasn't changed all that much, But I think this is a really personal record, and it's a combination of songs that are, they're personal, and then others that are kind of drawn from history, but kind of trying to find that personal inroad to understanding history, as with the song I just played.
Yeah, and I love Moccasin Creek, Tennessee Rain. Those are two of my favorite off there. But I also saw Cry Cry. It's your video for that. Is that simply just your wife with her Nikon?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's amazing because this looks high dollar shot. And then what do? You just go get some stock aerial footage?
We used a little bit of acquired footage. That's the word I use. We acquired it. But somebody had shot some aerial stuff, so that blended in nicely. I had about, what Steve Poltz and I we're on tonight at Doug Fur, and the deal is we were going to do a show that evening in I think in North Carolina, but we got completely snowed in by a blizzard, so we were able to crawl into Nashville, and I had about 2 hours of daylight and a night off. And so my wife and I, we said, you know what? Now's the chance to make that video in the snow. When is the snow going to fall like this? And serendipity.
I think that's one of the things you can do now in the digital age. You make yourself what would cost $1 million back when with a label and everybody else involved. What are, I've watched, as you have too, over the last 20, 25 years, how digital has moved its way in. There are some that work for it, but have you seen digital as being the downfall in some areas of of music?
No, not really. I think if anything, it's facilitated recording your work and realizing it, in much more cost effectively. And I mean, there's a whole other side to this business that has gone through a lot of upheaval. But I love it that you can do so much on a telephone. I think it's great. I love it.
You mentioned Steve. I had no idea Steve was with you tonight.
Oh yeah, certainly. Steve Poltz and I were here a year ago. We had such a good time. We drove through the woods together, and and stopped off and bought Bigfoot merch, and so it's like I gotta get back. I'm running low on my Bigfoot. So it was, and so it's quite squatchy up here, by the way. Yeah. That's the term we use. Yeah, we're playing tonight at the Doug Fir, and then we're going to do a show in Grass Valley and Chico and San Francisco, and yeah, it's great. Love that guy.
All right. Well, once again, love the new album at the Doug Fir tonight, guys. Once again, Grant Lee Phillips.
Thank you. Thank you.